DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and for Super Bowl LVIII, new customers could bet $5 and win $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app and use the promo code Barry when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Rotopat truly looked terrified during that.
Sorry about that, Pat.
Yeah, it's okay. Welcome to Prop-A-Shot, Rotopat. He's going to help us out with a Super Bowl edition.
All right.
Yes. I can't get over the fear in your face when we all got together for the chime. They didn't prep me for this.
I don't do mantras, yeah.
All right, well, let's jump right into it here. Pat, you're up first. Brock Purdy passing yards. The over-under is at 247.5.
I'm just going to go full narrative-based. I think the Niners are going to start slow again. The Chiefs are going to start hot. The Shanny tilt will set in. They're going to, not quite to the extent the Ravens did, abandon the run, but they're going to get off their game. They're going to pass a lot. Purdy's going to go over.
All right, Jay, you're up, and we're sticking with the Niners offense here. And Deebo Samuel receiving yards over under 62.5.
I'm going to go under on this. He's gone under in 5 of 6. Now, he did get injured in one of those games, but I think this is going to be a game where Kyle Shanahan emphasizes the run and Christian McCaffrey. So give me the under on Deebo.
Matthew, how about Christian McCaffrey rushing and receiving yards combined? The over-under at a whopping 129.5.
I so want to take the under here, but it's Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
He's averaging 130 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns in the playoffs. Because it's rushing and receiving yards, I agree with Pat's analysis. I do think they abandon the run, but he's such a weapon in the passing game, and L'Jarius Sneed is so good. I think he's going to shut down Ayuk, and so I think you'll see a lot of dump-offs, especially with the pressure. So give me the over on 129.5 rushing and receiving yards for Christian McCaffrey, who has had at least 130 scrimmage yards in 6 of the last 8.
All right, another big piece of the Niners offense here, Pat. George Kittle, his receiving yards over-under is at 47.5.
I think I'm going to take the way over. The Chiefs love to blitz. Brock Purdy is effective against the blitz, and Denny Carter informs me that when they get blitzed, he loves to check down to George Kittle. His target share skyrockets, close to the line of scrimmage stuff, the middle of the field stuff, and it just feels like a Kittle game to me. Famous last words. Anytime it feels like a Kittle game, like, 11 yards, but I'm going to take the over for Kittle.
Jay, a fun one here. Patrick Mahomes' most consecutive completions is at over-under 7.5.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Now, the reason why this is so high, I think, is that the Chiefs, they just throw a ton of screens and passes in the flat. The Niners, that's not a weakness of their defense, so I don't think he's going to get as many of those easy completions, so I'll take under 7.5.
Yeah, by the way, and if Marquez Valdez-Scantling is anywhere in that 8 run, like you're screwed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Exactly. Will he throw 8 passes in a row to Kelsey and Rashee Rice?
As
That's
I've
what
always
you're
said,
asking.
MVS, he's a January guy. Like, he rises in January. We've now ticked over to February. He's in big trouble.
It is.
All right, Matthew. Isaiah Pacheco rushing yards over under 65.5.
Over. Didn't matter. I didn't know what the I didn't need to know what the line was. I didn't know what the line was. He's had at least 66 rushing yards in 4 straight games, including the postseason. At least 18 carries in 4 of the past 6. I don't know. I think that Jerick McKinnon either does not play or touches the ball once or twice. The way to beat San Francisco is running the ball. We saw what Jones and the Lions running backs did. Give me the over on literally whatever the number is for Isaiah Pacheco. But it's currently 65.5 on DraftKings.
All right, Pat. Speaking of MVS, his receiving yards over under is just 20.5.
I mean, do you guys have a blindfold? That's how I feel when it comes to any MVS prop. And he referenced, playoff MVS. And I tried to look into it. Like, playoff MVS a real thing with the Chiefs? And even with the big games he's had in the postseason, he's been under 10 yards in 3 of 6 Chiefs postseason. Not that that's instructive going forward. Yeah, but just...
I just like that Jay caused you. It's kind of like a snipe hunt. He just he threw out some random stat that he didn't mean at all, but you actually legitimately looked into it, which I find hilarious.
With any MVS, if you have to flip a coin, it's going to land on the under. I will take the under.
All right, Jay,
Smart.
how about Kyle Juszczyk over under just half a catch? Does Juszczyk get a catch in this game?
I think he does. He had 3 targets last week against the Lions, and Kyle Juszczyk is Kyle Shanahan's favorite player on planet Earth.
Favorite
in the Super
person.
Bowl, in the Super Bowl, he's getting a catch.
All right, Matthew, how about Patrick Mahomes passing yards over under 260.5?
I'm taking the under here as well. So he's been under 260 in back-to-back games as well. Niners have allowed an opposing quarterback to go over 260.5 passing yards in only 4 of 19 games so far this year. You just heard me take the over on Pacheco's rushing prop. I think they run the ball quite a bit. I think same for San Francisco. I kind of like the under in this game. It's 2 good defenses, 2 offenses that have been up and down so far this year, and so I don't think it's a shootout type game. So I think the Chiefs try to grind out a win here. And so, yeah, give me the under on 260.5 for Mahomes passing.
All right, Pat, since we were cruel and gave you MVS, we'll bounce back and give you Rashee Rice here. Longest reception over under 21.5 yards.
You know, Rashee Rice only had 10 explosives all year, catches over 20 yards, but in the playoffs, this Chiefs target share has gotten so concentrated. I think he's going to get so many looks. The Niners are not an amazing tackling team. They're not a horrible tackling team, but they're not a great tackling team. He's going to get those yak opportunities. I think at some point one of them's going for over 21.5 yards, and I'll take the over on 21.5 for Rashee Rice.
Jay, of course, we saved the true sicko stuff for you. Harrison Butker over under field goals 1.5.
Yes, I am a sicko, and I'm taking the over on this one. Harrison Butker has gone over this in 4 of the last 5 in a dome, no conditions. Chiefs also, they struggle in the red zone, have done all this season, so I think they'll be kicking some field goals.
All right, Matthew, how about Brock Purdy longest completion over under 37.5 yards against a good secondary?
Very good secondary as well, but they've given up at least a 50-yard completion in both their games in the playoffs against Miami and Baltimore. Purdy's thrown a 38 or longer yard completion in 7 of the past 8 games, including the postseason. We just talked about the check down. You know, Chris McCaffrey can get that on a 2-yard pass and then run for 40 yards as well. Games indoors on the turf as well. Shanahan is so good at yards after the catch and creating space. Give me the over on 37.5 for Brock Purdy's longest completion.
All right, Pat, you can tell we're getting way down the board here. How about Elijah Mitchell rushing attempts over under 1.5?
I felt like this was the easiest one. I'm smashing the over. I felt like every time this postseason they show CMC on the sideline, you know, they got the massage gun going on his quad. They've got a chiropractor like cracking his neck, and he's going to finish the game. I think CMC, the biggest game of his life. But I think there's no way he's not going to need a few like breather series. Elijah Mitchell's going to come in 4 carries for Elijah Mitchell, way over 1.5.
Jay, I promise I didn't sneak this one in. You could blame Stephen P. Adam, whoever you want to. Damian. Dre Greenlaw solo tackles over under 5.5.
Yeah, so just a reminder, if you're looking at this market, like there's a difference between total tackles and solo tackles, and that is the key. I still think that Greenlaw will go over. I think the Chiefs, particularly using Kelsey over the middle of the field, and also just running the ball, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff in Dre Greenlaw's zone, so give me the over.
And Matthew, we have to close this out with Travis Kelsey receiving yards over under 70.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go over. I'm just not betting against Kelsey in a big game with his girlfriend in attendance. 71 receiving yards in all 3 playoff games so far this season. He's had 71 receiving yards in 16 of 21 career postseason games, and at least 80 receiving yards in 2 of the 3 Super Bowls he's played. Give me the over on 70.5 of Travis Kelsey, who has seemingly saved his best for last.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Rotoworld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.